Hello, everybody, and welcome to another great episode of the Gridiron Glory podcast. We're here to talk to you today about all 32 teams all season long, their stories, their highlights, their struggles. We're here to talk to you about Sunday Night Football that took place in Week 15 between the Packers and the Seahawks. And yeah, what can you say about the Packers? I mean, they came off to a very fiery start in this game. They came ready to play a football game. They came out firing on all cylinders. I mean, Jordan Love looked very composed, very confident in the pocket. Josh Jacobs, the 26 carries for 94 yards. So, just Green Bay came out here and really just controlled the tempo from the start, dominated the first half. Seattle really didn't get all that much of anything going in the second half. Geno Smith, 15 of 19, 149 yards, no touchdowns. The one interception, Zach Charbonnet, 8 carries, 54 yards, one touchdown there, sure. But ultimately, Green Bay, 20 of 27 for Jordan Love, 229 yards. Like I said, the 2 touchdowns. Yeah, you got guys like Jaden Reed, even, who's a serviceable contributor, if nothing else. Then you got guys like Romeo Dobbs, only 3 catches, but, the 40 yards for 2 touchdowns. So efficient, very efficient there. To me, Romeo Dobbs may not be a super flashy receiver, but he's an efficient receiver. And he finds ways to get the job done a lot. So he does it again here. Obviously you didn't really necessarily like to see that fumble from Josh Jacobs and Jaden Reed. So if you're a Green Bay fan and the Green Bay team, you want to see them get that cleaned up. Unless you're Tad, who wants to see them keep doing it even more secretly, because really not secretly, but he does because he's a Vikings fan. And then you got guys like, Tad, this astounding, great performing Green Bay Packers defense. I mean, what can you say about them? You got guys like Ajirian Cooper, 7 total tackles, 6 solo, a sack, 2 tackles for loss, and 2 hits on the quarterback. Yeah, Ajirian Cooper. Let's dive into him for a second. The rookie out of Texas A&M, 37 solo tackles, 3.5 sacks, a forced fumble, and he has an interception as a rookie in his very young career. And yes, Tad, I would like to humbly, sincerely ask you, sir, where would you rank Ajirian Cooper amongst rookie defensive players?
I mean, it looks like he goes out there, he does his job. The Packers are a very interesting defense. And they go out there, they tend to do a fairly respectable job against most teams. And then, they got some older pieces, they got some younger pieces, they got a good mix there. And for Cooper to be starting as a rookie, that's fairly impressive. I've said that about a few different players, but he's gone out there and he's looked pretty solid as early on in his career for the second round draft pick. So a big role early on.
You also got Kingsley Enagbare, 5 solo tackles, 2 sacks, 3 tackles for loss, 2 hits on the quarterback. Yeah, Kingsley Enagbare, the third year pro out of South Carolina. Third year. 17 solo tackles, 4.5 sacks, 2 forced fumbles. So far on the season, so a young and up and coming defensive player, for sure. Rashawn Gary, 2 solo tackles, a sack, and a tackle for a loss. Devontae Wyatt. So Tad, this is a Green Bay Packers team. We expected them to have about this kind of a season, but to me, it's like they're kind of exceeding our preseason expectations.
In a way, they've won a lot of close games. And the situation is that they expose other teams when the other teams tend to struggle. It feels like, at least, I don't know, maybe this is just me seeing this, but when I watch other teams playing the Packers, it seems to me that quite often the other teams they're not playing at their best. Like, I mean, we've just seen some defenders. Like, I would have expected Seattle's defense to play a bit better than they played tonight. Like, the tackling wasn't there, the coverage wasn't there, and this is not the first time I've seen this situation against this Green Bay team. But I mean, at this point, they are what their record says they are. They only have the 4 losses. I mean, and 3 of those losses are to 12-2 football teams. So I mean, they are what they are. Actually all 4 losses, I should say, come to think of it, the Eagles are 12-2 as well. So I mean, they haven't lost to anyone bad. I mean, this is a team that they just win the games they're supposed to win. So we'll see how that trends moving forward.
Very, very solid takes. Very solid takes. Yeah, they're doing a really good job. Seattle, I mean, a bad game really for Seattle, Tad. I mean, there's really no other way to put it but a bad game for Seattle at home in the primetime lights. A game that you need to show up in, but you didn't show up in.
You gotta hope Gino can get healthy. I think it was his knee that he banged up a bit. They're expecting that he'll be back to play Minnesota next week, but yeah, him getting hurt in the middle of the game, that certainly didn't help. I mean, Sam Howell came on and he did what he could, 5 of 14 for 24 yards and a pick. I mean, that was a backup quarterback performance, but you gotta hope Gino can get back. And I mean, because they got some big games moving forward as they try to stay relevant in the playoff hunt.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, for Green Bay, let's see, next week. Yeah, Green Bay next week will be taking on the New Orleans Saints on Monday Night Football. So that'll be a very solid game there. And then for Seattle, like you said, Tad, at home against your Vikes. So that it will be interesting there too. So yeah, Packers win 30-13. Did you have any other final thoughts or takes on this game?
Just hope that Gino gets well soon.
Yep, just hope that Gino gets well soon. And yeah, that's all you can really wish for. Be sure to like, subscribe, and follow. This is the Gridiron Glory Podcast.